Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Saturday, January 2nd, 2016. Ra and Black Wolf are here in the Lynn-Life. Betty Jean is there in the Jamie Body Mind, and we have many other teammates in other aspects of the subatomic for the most part and the physical for the most part. Our assignment continues to be to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions to manifest the divine plan. Wiser minds above have noticed that we have, as spirit world presences, had the assignment to manifest the divine plan for eons, for eternity, and that it wasn't coming together. So they have now begun to assign us deadlines. The big deadline is the one to provide the collective restart. The new start is needed, so a new beginning can come along and we can begin to live our soul plans, creating lives of joy and worlds that work. We're supposed to have that collective restart in place by January 17th, 2017, and knowing that a large project must be broken down into smaller components with smaller deadlines, Wiser Minds Above have given us a series of nested deadlines that take us from where we are in any moment to that collective restart on January 17th, 2017. The next deadline is January 17th, 2016. Our intention is to do what is ours to do to meet that deadline. The assignment will become clear. And with that, the videoed portions of today's efforts begin. My attention is being brought to Ra-2, who seems to be making progress in that next larger level of the physical dimension.
That's true.
He's talking to what seems to be a higher soul of Paul, who seems to be something like a psychiatrist running a mental institution where psychics have been held for talking about the disaster that's unfolding in the subatomic.
That's true.
Which includes, of course, the levels that these body minds are living in and all the levels smaller than that.
That's true.
It seems as though the psychics have been warning of things that will happen, like baboons and elephants running through the streets.
That's true.
Is the feeling of it. What they're literally saying, I don't know. But they have been saying, look, bad things are going to happen if we don't address this disaster in the subatomic. And they have been imprisoned and tortured, as people are in mental institutions.
That's true.
As thanks for speaking something that is now proving to be the truth, because whatever it is that they've been saying is going to happen is happening in that larger physical dimension.
That's true.
The baboons, quote unquote, are in the streets, so to speak.
That's true.
And so this higher soul of Ra-2, has now gone back up into a larger level, and he's talking to a higher soul of Paul, who's also in that larger level of physicality, and is saying, these people are institutionalized because they said baboons would be running through the streets, so to speak.
That's true.
And look outside the window. Do you see the baboons running through the streets? Yes, you do. Don't you think it's really time to make it right with these people? Not only let them out, but apologize and compensate them in some way. You've imprisoned them for speaking the truth. And you're the one who's out of touch with reality if you don't come into truthfulness with this situation right now.
That's true.
Live with integrity. Do the right thing. I see how Paul has some resistance. He just doesn't want to admit he made a mistake, maybe.
That feels true.
It's okay. We all make mistakes. We're error-making machines. Look, what they said was pretty unlikely.
That's true. If you were going off of the odds.
Right. You went with game theory,
That's
but
true.
game theory didn't hold true.
No.
We all go with game theory when we can't, when we don't have anything else to go with.
That's true.
You made a good call that happened to be incorrect.
That's true.
So now just make it right. Just make it right. And Ra's saying, look, if you don't want to let them out, I will. Here, give me the keys.
That's true.
And that guy seems willing to give Ra-2 the keys.
That's true.
Interesting. So Ra-2 it's like a grill work kind of gate.
Yes.
And Ra-2 is opening the gate and saying, come on out. Everybody out. Bring your things. You're free to go.
There.
Some of them don't want to go.
Yeah, some of them don't.
Well, they don't have to go. They can stay or go.
That's true.
And he's calling to all the orderlies and nurses and explaining to all of them. And many of them seem less resistant to the concept than the doctor is.
That's true. They're saying, yeah, I noticed the baboons in the streets. I noticed that what they said was true.
Right, so now what we need to do is help these people get ready to go back to a life that possibly has been destroyed. They've been imprisoned, and you've been messing with their brains with drugs and more. And now you can't just push them out onto the street. You've ruined their lives. And now how do we make it right?
Some of these nurses are so sad. They've gotten so attached to some of these patients.
Well,
and they're saying, oh, I'm going to miss him.
Well, he needs a way to reintegrate into society. That's what they need. They need a way to reintegrate into society. They need a halfway house experience.
That nurse is raising her hand and saying, come live with me. Do you want to come live with me?
I see many people who do.
Yeah.
Many who do, yes.
And there's another nurse.
Yeah, somebody else is saying.
Do you want to come live with me? You can come and stay with me.
And they're offering to their favorites. And that's what seems to be happening. And they all seem to, many of them have people they feel friendly with. There are a couple who don't want to leave, and they're saying,
it's crazier out there than it is in here. I want to be here.
I'd rather stay here.
This is my home.
I don't have anybody out there I want to talk to. I don't have anyone out there I want to see. These people around me are the sanest people I know.
That's true.
If you just stop sticking us with needles,
that would be great.
That would be great. Just let us go outside when we want to go outside. Yeah. Well, it seems to me that if we were willing to house, clothe, and feed them before the baboons were in the street, we should be willing to house, clothe, and feed them. Now they have been proven to be correct.
That's true.
And maybe we should listen to what else they have to say.
That is true.
This is a resource. These people are seers. They see something happening before it happens.
That's true.
I see the higher soul of Luce, who we've been calling Trade Show Luce because he was handing out the DVDs at the trade show about the disaster in the subatomic.
That's true.
He seems to be packing his things and getting ready to go. Maybe he hasn't been in here as long as the others.
No.
He thinks he can make a bigger difference out there than in here.
That's true.
He says there's no point in talking to these people. They already know it.
They already know.
I need to be talking to the ones who don't want to accept it.
That's true.
And we can take the videos of the baboons in the street, quote unquote, and then show it. And show the films of, here's the DVD that was made before this, saying, look, baboons will be in the street if we don't act. Here are the baboons in the street. Come on, let's do this. This needs to happen. Because what's going to happen next is something worse than baboons in the street.
That's true.
Whatever that represents.
And I feel others that want to go with him.
There are many others who want to go with him. Well, to Luce's, what we know is that anxiety is a real issue.
That's true.
So to this Trade Show Luce, we say what has helped other aspects of us are to learn this habit of separating most true from least true and burning the least true. About any topic, it doesn't matter what the topic is, this technique is very helpful in keeping a clear head about what's actually going on.
That's true.
And that keeps anxiety minimized. And he says, I'm not feeling anxiety, but it's because you're drugged on those anti-anxiety meds.
That is true. You don't feel much of anything right now.
No, you're numbed up by the drugs, and when they wear off, the anxiety...
It's going to slam you.
Right. Let's get these skills in place right now.
That's true. Get the habit.
Get the habit. Or you need to stay on the drugs, which you don't like because they muddle your mind.
That's true.
When the drugs wear off, the anxiety will be there unless you have mastered this habit. So let's master it. Most true, least true. Burn least true. And now take this globby thing that builds up in the center, and you can hand it up to your higher soul and burn it. They will burn it often. You can hand it to the person on your right if you're in a circle of people who are doing this exercise.
That's true.
And then take the clump of confusion from the person on your left. And when it isn't our own stuff that we're looking at, it's really clear to us that this is a tangled mass of lies and it needs to be burned. We can see it in others. It's hard to see our own craziness. Well, A Beautiful Mind was a movie about somebody who was gifted energetically, gifted in many ways, but gifted energetically, psychic.
That's true.
And living in a society that doesn't recognize that phenomenon and miscategorizes it as mental illness.
That's true.
Which is in and of itself crazy in the definition of something that makes no sense.
That's true.
Because it's provable that psychic phenomena are real. If you look at the studies out of the University of Arizona, that's what their paranormal department focuses on in their Department of Psychology, and they prove the reality of psychic phenomena.
That's true.
It's all proven. The people who deny it simply want to cling to lies.
That is true, and marginalize the gifted.
Well, they want to cling to lies for some reason or another.
True.
We don't, like,
That's
who
true.
knows why.
Everyone has their
own reasons.
That's
Every
true.
situation's unique, every person's unique. But they clearly want to cling to lies.
That is true.
Some of them might just be afraid of the message. It's like,
That's
no, I
true.
don't want to think about that. Think about the message of reincarnation that basically says the law of cause and effect is real. What goes around comes around. The damage you inflict on others is coming your way. Heads up. Make it right in this life. This is by far the path of least resistance.
Path of ease and grace.
People want to pretend that they don't ever have to make it up, that they just can pretend that that didn't happen.
It'll die with me.
And that's not how the system works. And so that's scary, and people want to deny that reality. It's understandable, but it doesn't make it go away. What do I know? I know that Ratu is up there, and he knows the reality of the subatomic.
That's true.
And now that he's up there, it's going to be less threatening for him. And it's possible he's going to be more helpful from that angle than he was when he was down here. He is a person of great integrity. I'm not going to get sucked into that. I'm still live streaming it up. Way up. This is coming to you from Wiser Minds Above, live streaming up to Ratu. You're supposed to help Trade Show loose. Help him. Help him. He's never been good at holding his energy body stable. This isn't going to be the one exception. He needs to learn the skills. You have the skills. Teach him. Teach him. And you can teach Higher Soul of Paul also. Get a group of them to practice the search for truth techniques. You know them well enough now. You could teach them to this small group. Please include Trade Show Loose in this. Teach him the techniques he's going to need so he can have an impact. I can see him reaching kind of with little tools all the way through thing one, all the way through the portal, down to where Asha is on the other side, trying to communicate with those presences. I'm pulling something up. It might be that first E.T.
It might be.
That's the wrong one to take. Ratu, that's the wrong one to take. That one is working with Asha as a translator. Bring another one.
That's true.
Who isn't serving that useful purpose. I see another one. Take another one.
That's true.
He's bringing up something to make the point that it's real. He knows he needs to do that or his presentations won't be effective.
That's true.
But his channels aren't up well enough, and he's not paying attention well enough. And I'm not looking down my nose because it's extraordinarily difficult, but he almost made it harder for Asha to do her work.
That's true.
Rather than easier.
That's true.
Another lesson that a collective restart is actually needed. If someone like Ratu, with all those gifts and all that integrity and all the exposure, would make a mistake like that, quite clearly the system is broken beyond repair.
That's true.
Okay. Onward.
Onward.